Welcome back. We are coming to you live from the DR, Dominican Republic. No, papi, no, mami. I know Negro, papi. No, I know Negro, mami. Hey, listen. Welcome again back to another show, another week.
Yes.
Uncomfortable Truth.
Uncomfortable Truth.
I'm your host, Mr. McBride, and also you understand the other host is right next to me. Her name is Mrs. J.
I'm JB, y'all.
Yeah. So this week we got some crazy and we got a hot take. We had started to plan on just talk about, the passport bros and everything that was going on. And me being over here in the DR, I actually met some people that are going to come on the show and talk and give a little bit more insight about, about the passport bros and things that are going on instead of the normal stuff that everybody's talking about when it has to do with relationships. I mean, we're getting off that right now. We're start switching it up, all right? So we're not even really talking about relationships. We're going to talk about everything else. And also, we got to talk about, was Jason Whitlock correct?
That's correct. The Tyree Nichols case, young man was killed by the police. It was five or six officers, I do believe, but we have an interesting clip we're going to play for you guys tonight, and we would like for you guys to weigh in on it with your opinions. So I'm really excited to get started. Two really controversial topics. So we normally have three, but tonight we're only going to have two. So we need everybody to tune in, pay attention. Make sure you guys go down and subscribe to this channel, the Atlanta Cast Network. Subscribe. Make sure you smash the like button. And just remember, we do have a super chat down the bottom. If you guys want to get our attention and want us to pull the comments on the screen, we can do that for you. Just make sure you go into the super chat.
And if you got something really you want us to just stop in our tracks and talk about, that's what the super chat is for. If you just really got something and we need to talk about, you just want us to stop talking about what we talking about and answer your question or repeat your statement, that's what the super chat is for. Okay.
Yes.
I think you got some videos for us, don't you?
I do. I think we're gonna start with our very first topic being the passport bros. It's a lot of controversy behind this topic. It's one that my host introduced to me. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know how I feel about it quite yet. So I did do a little bit of research. Why you look like that, bro?
I'm just chilling.
Like
I'm just chilling.
I'm just chilling. That's what happens when you go
stress free. I'm in the DR right now. Go ahead.
I wish I was there. Why you didn't pack me in your suitcase?
Hey, next time, I gotta do site survey.
Oh, is that what it is? Site survey? Funny guy.
Got to get the recon going. You know how it is.
Yeah, okay. He didn't even tell me he was going, you guys. But anyway, so our first topic, like I said, is the passport bros. And since my hosts always allow, the ladies to go first, I do want to have the operator, go ahead and play our first clip of the night, passport bros.
Drop that track.
So I know a lot of these passport bros, and especially black men, are in my comments asking me why I'm talking about this. It's not my fight. And before anything, I'm a woman, so I'm always going to stand up for women regardless of race. And one thing that really bothers me about this is these same passport bros are the men who probably tried to hit on me in the US before they realized that we don't like them either. I'm from a town that really doesn't have that many Asian women, especially Asian women who look like me. Like I said, you guys, I'm adopted. I grew up in a white family in the Midwest, so I have no beauty standards from South Korea. I'm a thick woman. I weigh about 165 pounds. I'm 5'5", so honestly, the brothers like to holler, and they still do. Regardless of what some men in the comments are trying to say that black men aren't checking for Asian women. Yeah, right. Check my DMs. But anyway, pretty much every time I met a black man, he thought it would be a flex to say something like, yeah, I like my women foreign. I like my women exotic. And I don't know why they decided to say that to me, if they thought it would make me feel good or something. But for me, it's always a red flag. And so I would dig in a little bit further and say, well, what do you mean by that? Because I'm a white girl on the inside. My family is white. I grew up in a white community in a small town in the Midwest. So I might look exotic, but I'm Wonder Bread white on the inside. So anyway, whenever these guys would say this, I'd be like, well, you're about to be in for a big disappointment if you're expecting a submissive, docile Asian to take care of you. But it really bothered me when these guys would say, yeah, I don't like black women, because that's what it always came down to, that they didn't date black women regardless if they were black or not. And their moms are black, their sisters are black, their cousins are black. I'm like, would you say this to their face? That's weird. So I kind of pick and prod after I already decided, yeah, I'm done with this, I'm out, because anybody who says something like that just is an immediate red flag. But it always came down to the same stupid stereotypes that black men always have to say about women. They're loud, they're masculine, they don't know how to treat a man, they wear fake hair. So what? So what? You don't have to put down an entire race of women because you have a preference. And honestly, like, I've dated pretty much every race, every ethnicity. I'm Ms. Worldwide when it comes to dating. Only common denominator is black hair and dark eyes usually. But I've never heard any group of men put down their own women more than I've heard black men do it in pursuit of other women. And I just find it really disheartening. And I understand why this divide is getting bigger, but I don't want to be a part of it. So I hate it, and I had to speak on it. So
Okay, so let me start.
Wonder Bread White. That's what she said.
Let me start. Listen, let me
Wonder
go
Bread
ahead
White.
for my listeners real quick. Nori says she's garb. Okay. And she might be. I don't know her personally, so it is what it is. But let me start, guys, by defining or at least capturing what I know to be true about the Passport Bros, right? So the way that this particular group of men that are not just black men, maybe predominantly, but they have all races of men in this group. They're like a little mini fraternity or group of men. But the way it was introduced to me was that they are men who, I guess, grow up, live their life, make their money, and then they buy a passport. And then they go overseas to find women that are exotic, that are foreign, that are bred to be wives, and all of that happy horse crap, right? Now, it wasn't until recently that I had a distinct conversation with a different gentleman that really outlined other aspects of the Passport Bros. But I did have a conversation with a gentleman last week who really went ham about his definition of Passport Bros and the fact that American women ain't crap, and especially black women, and that he didn't want to be disrespected. He didn't want a boss in his bed. He didn't want a woman that was masculine and all of this stuff. So I asked him a series of questions, you guys. I asked him, I said, well, what is your relationship with your mom? You know, do you have any children? So he admittedly has a daughter. He described what his relationship was with his mother. And what I discovered was that he's a woman hater, to include his own women. He literally hates his own women. So he's had 3 failed marriages and he only went overseas. And guys, let me outline what he told me. He told me that he sends his friends to the red light district in these particular countries to see if they like the company of the women. Do they like the build? Do they like the shape? Do they like the skin complexion? Do they like the accent? Do they like the tone of their voice? How they body move? Like the or all of this other foolishness, right? And I was shocked, right? So I gave him my opinion, and the man hung up on me. He hung up on me.
That's all you did.
He hung up on me. He
didn't know I was there.
Or Eve.
You know I was there on the phone.
He was intimidated because
you do remember I was on the phone.
I do. And I let the man speak. I asked him a series of questions. He answered those questions, and he went on this rant about why he don't deal with black women.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, here comes the uncomfortable truth. He tore his ass up.
And so I was like, what I do?
Tore his ass up.
No, I didn't. I did not tear him up.
Look, talked about him up, not down, inside out.
I gave him my opinion. At any rate, he tried to shut me up. Mark, do you remember? He was like, no, be quiet. Stop.
That's a man. That is a man.
I don't give a darn. He's not my man. He ain't my daddy. He doesn't have no significance to me.
I just wanted to see your face.
Yeah, you know, he has a basic problem with communicating with women. Okay. And there are a lot of our men who hate their own women. And so I believe that that's where that derives from for him. But we're probably going to hear from someone later on, or actually pretty shortly, that has some other aspects of the Passport Bros that they need to maybe support them, because right now what they represent is garbage. So y'all saw the video.
Well, I mean, I really love how you just wrapped all that up into a nice, pretty bullshit bow. But I'm always gonna remix it because listen, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, the clip
Don't cuss at
explained
me.
the clip.
Don't cuss at me.
I never
Don't
would.
cuss at me. You
I
said
never
bull.
would. The clip it just gave you all the information you needed. What better clip to show you the entitlement and the hypocrisy? Like, did she not just did we how
Do you
many
have a
men
clip?
how
Go ahead,
many
play
men
your clip.
no I'm just gonna go off yours. How many men have heard a woman say, I don't date short men?
So
Oh, whoa, let me finish. So she was like, why would you put down a whole group of women just because of your preference? Why would you put down a whole group of men that ain't 6 foot because your preference is 6 foot?
what is her preference based on?
It doesn't matter. That's what she wants.
What is your preference based on?
Your mouth.
And so you mean to tell me, out of all of the black women, you've never met a black woman who didn't have a mouth? I mean, what are you saying? And have you seen how you talk to people lately? Have you seen it? Have you heard yourself?
That's not a relationship.
Yeah, okay. So what's to stop you from talking to your woman like this?
Because I have control of my emotions.
Listen, bring our guest up. Operator. We have 2 people backstage. We have a male, we have a female. I don't know if the female will be able to speak on the topic. She may just be listening in a bit, but I know our male has been specifically introduced as a good.
He's here with me right now, Mr. Marco. Give him a round of applause. Give him a round of applause. Another passport bro in the building. Another passport bro. He's in the DR with me right now. Hey, Marco. Marco.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's prove it to him real quick. See, this is what you spend in the DR. You understand?
Ladies first.
Ladies first. You spend in the DR.
Ladies first, sir. Isn't that what you said?
I was just introducing my man. That's it. I'm just introducing my man.
Passport? Did you get your shots?
Ladies first. Right below me is the incomparable, my eldest sister, my womb mate, my leader. I love her so much. It's my eldest sister. Y'all give it a round of applause for Nigeria. Round of applause.
Well, thank you, sis.
Right.
So listen, this is a really interesting perspective. Thank you so much for waving your money. I'm glad you're on vacation. Maybe you'll have a little chill in your life. You need that, sir. So listen, the thing about the passport roles that I've listened to so far is so listen. I can't speak to every ethnicity and every race.
I got a bad connection.
It's a little bit staticky.
Take out your headphones. And just use take out your headphones from the phone.
Okay.
Just use your regular phone.
Okay. Give me a second. Let me turn it on.
Oh, anyway, while they're doing that, while they're getting it together, listen, I'm here in Dominican Republic and I'm at the bar, right? I'm at the bar, I'm having a meal, and I'm just talking to JB on the phone. And we're talking about what we're going to talk about tonight on the show, and we're going a little bit over the information. And Marco is sitting to my right, and he chuckles, and I hear another man across the bar chuckle, and I looked up and I was like, yeah. That's not right. That's not why we're here. That's BS. So we go into the conversation, and then I put JB on the phone with him right there, and we're here in the DR and we're talking about the misconception of what it is that we are doing. Y'all, the majority of people only focus on the women aspect, the relationship aspect. That is probably a percentage of a percent. It's not the main reason why men of purpose are going to move to another country. The comments that are talking about these types of men, you sound ignorant, because it takes a certain type of quality man to be able to have, number one, the resources to go and establish himself in another country, and also the mindset, the confidence, the ability, the connections. These ain't no Pookies and Ray Rays over here. So without further ado, ma'am, do you got your stuff together? Let me hear it. Check, mic check.
Nigerian.
I can
Okay.
barely hear y'all, but can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You're clear.
Okay, wonderful. Well, I'm glad that you are enjoying your time in the DR, sir, because I think that you could use a little relaxation time, a little chill time. Okay, so now about the passport bros, I don't know a lot, but just from the clip that I listened to, the first thing I think about is considering that a lot of us come from a very specific group, a very specific history. One thing that we neglect to have is a sense of community, so that when our children see a reflection of what their parents and their grandparents look like, that they can have a sense of pride in it. So if automatically what you're looking for is something that is exotic, something that is different, what you want to tell your daughter? Is she not good enough? I mean, that to look like her aunties, to look like your ancestors is not good enough for her. Why is that not good enough? Why is something that is considered exotic better? So I guess that's the question that I have for you, because I don't understand.
I appreciate it, and you just gave me a great example. The problem is these people look just like you. You're not different. You're just different in America. Y'all gotta zoom out. We ain't nothing but black people over here. Ain't nothing but black people. They come up talking to me Spanish. JB was on the phone with me when I got off the plane. They just came up to me. Hey, ¿qué pasó? Hey, bro. Hey, I'm just like, you know, I'm just el baño. I'm just talking because I feel at home in these other places. I don't have to fear for my life when I drive down the street here. I don't feel nervous when a cop pulls up behind me. When a girl comes up and talks to me, I don't think that she has Googled me and figured out who I am and what I got and trying to take advantage of me. I don't have to worry about none of that. It's 100% peace. And what we're here to talk about tonight is the other aspect of the passport bros. And I'm going to introduce, I'm going to introduce my guest right now, Mr. Marco. Hey, one more round of applause for my guest as well. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do it the right way. Hey, brother, could you please shed some light on some things that you got going on here, and also some things that we're going to talk about tomorrow? We're going to get together and we're going to, get together and try to make happen.
Okay, nice to meet you, Mark. I know it's kind of loud where I'm at because I'm at a restaurant where I live at. I'm not familiar about what's going on with the Passport Brothers. I did hear a snippet. My son sent me something last week, but I don't know everything that's going on. I did see a lady made a comment about her perspective on it. So I don't know what's going on in the States with a lot of it. So I'm kind of ignorant to what's going on, because when you live over here, you kind of lose touch on a lot of political, what's going on, current events.
A lot of bullshit.
I even fell behind in sports, and that's unreal for me. But got behind in a lot of stuff that's going on in the States. So I'm trying to sympathize and understand what's going on with some of you, each one of y'all topics and subjects. So far as the black women, I didn't move over here for the chicas. Me and Mark was talking earlier, and that a lot of people don't know. In this community where I live at, it's probably 15 sisters from the States that live here, that bought here, invested here, and is buying more property. So it's a stereotype of black men come here for the chicas. Some do. I can't speak for all of them. I only can speak for myself. But it's a lot of reasons. A lot of people are moving. It ain't just the black men moving here and visiting here. It's like the Canadians are moving here like crazy. They ain't moving here. They're bringing their families here. Some brothers I know brought their families here. The sisters I know have their families here, and twin sisters here. So it's not. I don't know all the different reasons for all this stuff, chatter is going on. It seems like it's coming from a negative standpoint about black men come to the islands over here for the chicas, and that is true to a certain extent. Some do come let their hair down and have fun, but it's not degrading nobody else. It's no difference when we go to Paris or we go to Thailand or Colombia or Turcos. People travel, they're just traveling, having fun and doing the things they can't. We don't getting out the cold weather where I'm from, and just experiencing a different quality of life. I come from the projects, and all my life, I heard the Caucasian guy saying, "How come?" Or they saying, "My mom and dad they're going to their vacation home over there, or over here, or over there." We never got to see that or hear it or say it at all. We always heard it, but we never got to see it. So I retired 5 years ago, and I moved from a small town to Charlotte, and then I was traveling back and forth here, and I discovered it was a whole different world here, whole different world from what I was brought up seeing.
When was the last time you bought clothes? When was the last time you bought clothes?
I haven't bought no clothes in 9 months. I haven't had no fast food in 9 months. It's just crazy here. It's a lot of us moving here for the right reasons. And like the guys I'm around, they haven't heard no gunshot in 9 to 10 years. There's no crime over here. No, let me say that right. There's crime everywhere. But where we live at, there's no crime. It's like in the
That's
States,
a beautiful
everybody got
thing.
guns.
That is from what you are
don't get me-
describing is a beautiful thing.
But don't get
The
me wrong,
African diaspora expands the globe.
yeah,
And
we do.
if you meet somebody that you can relate to, no matter where they are, that looks like you, I personally think that's a beautiful thing. But the clip in the beginning spoke to women that were exotic, which means in those cases, she was talking about Asian women. She was talking about people that did not look like people of African descent. And so that's the part that I'm a bit like taken aback from, because if it is just, you know what, listen, I'm trying to get out of the environment that I'm used to. I'm used to being in an area where I'm targeted. I'm used to being in an area where I can't drive down the street. That's something different. But if you are specifically looking to avoid who you are, then that's what I frown upon and shake my head to. Like if your idea is of exotic, can you hear me?
Yeah, hold on 1 second. We got to let's hit this comment on the screen. Go ahead.
Yeah, so the comment says this is from Lolo, which is Lauren Owens. She was just in our live chat. She says that's so contradictory. Y'all encourage passport bros, but are still trying to figure out how to save Black love. Make it make sense. We are disrespected by our own men instead of protected and uplifted. And so what she's referring to is that now that we know she's an avid watcher, is last week we talked about Black love. How do we save Black love? A lot of the topics have been about Black women. So Mr. Marco, we apologize for bringing you into any confusion. I actually really do appreciate your insight. To be very honest with you, the way that it was introduced to me, and I'm not going to call no names, but the way that it was introduced to me about the passport bros was from a very ignorant and childish and petty standpoint. And so what it was directed to incite Black women. It was intentional. It was like, I'm going over there.
Hold on.
I'm talking. It was going, we going over there because the passport bros and women are so masculine and and I just don't believe that is.
I don't understand why it has to be that in order to have a preference, then you have to denounce somebody else. So if your preference is exotic or different, then why is it that you have to target or put down a whole group of women? That's hateful.
Okay, it's no different to me when I hear women talk about people because of how much money they make, or how tall they are, or what kind of car they drive, or what kind of shoes. It's not different.
It's a big difference.
Excuse me. I said it's the same to me. You got
about the uncomfortable.
I know, but I'm saying when I hear a woman give her preference and talk down on a brother because he doesn't make a certain amount of money, or he doesn't drive a certain kind of car, or he's not a certain height, I feel the same way. But Marco, is it true or not? When we're sitting at the bar here, does that subject not also come up, that we also compare the interaction with women here, and what's the difference in reaction we get from these women here? We hear that at the bar as well.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah.
You can't have a whole. Go ahead.
People have a right to have their opinion on things, but like you're saying, that one guy, and he shouldn't speak for all Black men.
No,
he's not speaking. He's not representing all of us.
Look above you.
And all Dominicans is not alike, and all black men are not, all sisters are not alike, and it's just like one guy that's ignorant that made some statements about his personal thing. That's him. He ain't speaking for me and the brothers that's over here, because the brothers over here are all like-minded. Everybody speaks to each other. It's a unique bond here, and I'm hearing from brothers that's in Thailand, Colombia, Turks. It's different when you're out the country. It's totally different. We move different. We talk to each other here. We exchange each other. We help each other. It's like-minded brothers here. And we're not here putting sisters down over here. It's sisters that live amongst us here. And that's bringing their family and their uncles, their moms and dads. We're putting our flag down. And it's crazy because we was just talking, no matter what a black man says about a sister in the States, it's replicated here. The Dominicans have their own style, but you'll see Dominicans with their braids, the stuff that's going on in the States, they're copying it here. And that's around the world.
We can find two women. We can find two women right now outside that look just like both of them.
Oh yeah.
Just like both of y'all.
Darker.
The problem
Hey, that's a beautiful thing. That right there is a beautiful thing.
The problem is
it's sad.
The problem is for a lot of black men and a lot of men in general that they do not get the same attention from their women back in the States. They come here and they're noticed and they're valued and they get affection, and they only make $40,000 or $50,000, $60,000 a year. But back in the States, they get laughed at by a woman who makes less than them. They get called.
Well, are they looked at in that way because now they're considered exotic? Because if you go somewhere else outside of the United States, now you're the different one. Now you're the one that's sought after because you're American, not because
they don't care why. It could be because they got chicken in their pocket. They don't give a shit.
Yeah, I met a girl yesterday. Like, for instance, she's 35. She never had a refrigerator. Her mother never had a refrigerator. But you would never know that by talking to that girl. And I was just telling my son on the phone, like, I was like, dang, man. I was like, you don't need to bring all that stuff here. Like, just bring some sandals and flip-flops. You don't need no jewelry, because you're still looked at as you're just a man.
Yeah. You don't need no Mercedes Benz. You don't need no Gucci.
None of that.
You don't need no jewelry. You don't need none of that.
What I can't do is the hypocrites. So, Mr. Marco, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know you, but I respect you. I respect your outlook. I respect your insight. I respect your opinion. I respect it, because even I can pick up on your spirit that is sincere and is true. There's some men out here who are copycats. They get attached to certain groups, certain ideologies. They get attached to certain feelings. They just want to jump on the bandwagon. So what we're seeing here, and once again, I do apologize if it feels like you're walking into something, but there's not full honesty and
you can get their wigs split. They're gonna get their hair split over here coming over with that. Because them girls, some of them has motive. They was raised. They got
talk good.
They have
Mark, you listening?
They have motives and values.
He's talking to you.
Me?
You talking to me?
No.
Yeah. So some of them, because I got my hair split open like that. That's the best way to learn, But
but wait, what he's saying is there's nothing he's saying that won't happen in the United States.
True, but they have here is very family oriented, like unreal. From what I've seen, from my experience, and I only can speak on mine. Their values and morals are totally different from what we are in how it is in the States.
You can't even describe it. Marco, one quick question. When you stepped off the plane and you landed here, what was the first thing you felt?
It's a calm that comes over you. You can't explain it. You can't explain it. Because and the sisters, one thing, as a black man, we can speak on that, and y'all don't understand it to a certain degree, but it's hard for us in the States. And a lot of men, everybody got their own reason for moving over here. I put my flag down over here for a specific reason, and I just wanted. It's for me to my kids be like, we got property in the Caribbean island, just for them, just so we can say that, and I keep going. That's my go-to. And I want to be able to say that to my grandkids and my kids. Be like, my dad, we got family. We can go to the vacation house in the Caribbean islands. Coming from the projects, that's unheard of where I come from. So everybody else's motives for moving here is different. I mean, we got problems here. Don't get me wrong. I hate the way the Haitians are treated over here. I mean, in any country, any island you go to, gonna have their problems. This is a third world country. We got our issues, but you make the best of it. But the stuff that my anxieties I have in the States don't exist here. It don't exist
That's
here.
beautiful.
And I didn't come this far just to. I ain't gonna cuss on here, but coochie's the same. Whether it's over there in the States, it's the same thing. You getting 30 to 50 pumps in, and your ass is done.
Wait. The mind that's attached to it means something, though. It gives you a different feel. It gives you a different vibe when there's a different mindset attached to that body.
Yeah,
that's for damn sure.
It is.
So we want to go over some of the comments that we have been receiving. Miss Jasmine Brown, she had been giving some insight. Miss Deadpool, she had been giving some insight. She said, I feel like white men and others treat me better than black men. I feel black men have lost the ability to respect women regardless of race. We also had Miss Jasmine. We had put that up there at one point. Miss Jasmine said, no women out here are saying I'm not dating black men in America and then creating a group called the Passport Bros.
That's a lie.
Unfortunately, there's some misrepresentation, but really the idea here is to not be bitter. The uncomfortable truth is to not belittle black women. At the end of the day, the host of Uncomfortable Truth is a black woman, and I'm a proud black woman. And so if we are getting away from the idea that the Passport Bros are not this, then you might want to talk to some of your fellas that are misrepresenting.
No.
Talking to Mr. Mark,
because he was very clear.
You stand for it, because it is a small community, just at percentage wise or just in general. But what you represent, that's floating across the United States. So there's people who are offended. I'm the host. I'm one of the hosts of this show, and I'm offended.
It's a lot of reasons people getting out the States. It ain't just for women. It's like,
that's what I want to know.
But some are.
Yeah, that was my question.
But some topics are not. Those topics are not coming
Mark
out.
Don't feel that way, but that's what we want to know.
Yeah, and it's a lot of reasons for getting out of the States, man. In the States, like, don't get me wrong, they got its issues, but there's some things that when you come to another country, that stuff that you was raised with that stuff don't exist over here. I passed up the police officer. He was going too slow. Over here, we don't have no rules driving. There's no rules.
Hell no.
And then maybe about 2 months ago,
only rule, don't hit my shit. I won't hit your shit.
Yeah, I got pulled over by a police officer. I didn't have to sit up and talk proper and talk white. I didn't have to do that. I said, why are you pulling me over, dude? He says, a seatbelt. I said, my seatbelt is on. I reached over, gave him 500 pesos, which is $8. He said, my amigo, my friend, take my number. He said, you go. I gave him $8. You go. There's no rules over here. So that getting beat down by the police and all that stuff don't exist over here. It don't. I didn't have to sit up and straight and talk proper and talk white, talk professional. When I'm paying your taxes in the state and I got to sit up and talk to them like that stuff. I mean, you get pulled over here, you just what you can be like, what the fuck you pulling me over for? And excuse my language, but you can go off on them and you're not going to jail. It's just different here.
Especially if he know you got money. If he know you got money,
you give him 500
cuss
pesos,
his ass,
300 pesos,
please,
$4.
fuck out.
You get them
Operator, listen, can we get Mr. Bedgood on? I know we have a couple more people backstage. Eventually,
hey Marco, do you got to take off? You got to take off, or are you good?
My battery going low, but you can bring him in.
Okay, Marco. Hey, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll give you a call tomorrow.
Yeah, do that, bro, because I want to show you.
All right, brother. I'm coming over to your crib. Now, bring her sister back on, too. Shit.
Nigeria. There you are.
What's up, Mr. Bedgood? I'm glad you came in here to have my back today, brother. It's about to get messy.
Cherie, am I saying your name properly?
Sherry.
Sherry, okay. It's good to meet you, Sherry. How are you?
You too. I'm good. You?
Wow.
JB, how you doing? JB, how you doing?
So I'm trying not to come out of character. See
I know
some of us on here, like Mr. Bedgood, knows who Mark really is. And I really love the fact that you pretending on this joint, but I'm gonna let you be great.
Listen,
Talk real good.
I got something to say to your sister. I got something to say to your sister.
Up this whole passport bros before we even decided to do the topic. He had been trying to shove it down my throat for the past 3 weeks about this passport bros thing.
I was just trying to enlighten her. She didn't know anything about it.
He gave his whole dissertation on what he really felt like the passport bros is. Now he go over there to the Dominican Republic, find a real man that really represents, and now he's trying to take on the character of this man when we really know what it's all about.
Hold on, JB. I need you to tell the truth when you talk on this show.
That's the truth, bro.
Okay. So what really happened was we were talking about it already at the bar, and I said that women are a percentage of why we're here. We're over here for all other types of reasons. We're investing, we're buying land and all kind of shit. He heard what I had to say. I said it first.
Got you. But what did you say to me last week? So I want you.
No. I'm gonna tell you and your sister what I said last week.
What you created was a version of the passport bros.
That's a whole other group
that we were initially going to talk about. It wasn't until we were talking over the phone and the gentleman heard you say that and he wanted to give some insight. Now you're agreeing with him like it was your idea from the beginning when we both
I said it first.
You're going to be bros because you want to womanize the women.
Listen.
I
said it first.
Get your boy.
And listen. She thinks her and a lot of other black women think because they loud, they right.
There we go.
Like I said before, I told you the reason why we were bringing it up on the show and what's been going on, what they're talking about on TikTok, which is the other group of passport bros that are leaving just because of you. That's the reason why. Hold on. I'm not talking about you personally.
I got a 2-carat ring on my finger.
I'm not talking about you personally.
Oh, okay. Talk good to me.
I'm talking about the American woman. The reason why they're here is because of you. That's a whole other group. Absolutely. And I told you there's other individuals, and like myself, that are over here to buy land and build property and also use it as income, passive income, when we decide to stop working forever. So that's what we were talking about. And then he heard me and he said, yeah, that's right. That's right.
What do y'all have to say about this particular topic? I know you guys have been listening backstage. You heard what the gentleman said below. You heard what Nigeria had to say. I know Mr. Baker, Lord help me, please. What you gotta add, bro? What's good?
Tell the truth, brother.
JB, how you doing?
I'm all right.
Oh, that's our older sister right there.
I come in peace.
Please, because I'm like on 10 right now, because what happens when you know the truth, right? Even behind scenes, when you know the truth, you refuse to be made a fool of, So some stuff I'm not going to do, you know what I mean? I'll play along for a little bit, but some stuff I'm not going to do. At the end of the day, I'm tired of hearing this black woman hating, disrespectful, all of this condescending tone crap about black women. Like, listen, if you're going over there to buy land, then let that be your story. But stop making it about the American women and such and such. Like, no, that's not true, because to a certain group of women that don't respect you. It's something about you that makes
Let's go with the notion of it may be the black American women that he dealt with. So, and I want to go back. There was a comment at the bottom, because that comment right there did the same thing. The comment that it pretty much it stated what you're arguing against. Meaning,
the one, Mrs. Deadpool, where it says, "I feel white men." That one,
right? And the comment too.
I feel white men and others treat me better than black men. I feel black men have lost the ability to respect women regardless of race.
Keep that comment there for a second. Hold on, Vega. Let me get in here real quick. Keep that comment there. Now, I want everybody to look at the hypocrisy right now. If I would have texted that, if I would have said that exact shit, if I would have said, I feel that Dominican women treat me better than black women, I feel black women have lost the ability to respect men regardless of race. So what's the difference?
if you really want me to answer that, you are the difference.
Of course.
I think the whole difference, the bigger picture would be that maybe these women are creating groups to be outside of the United States, so this is where the truth comes out, right? The uncomfortable truth. And that's what me and Mark do. Contrary to popular belief, I really do love Mark. He's like a brother of mine, right?
I know
but I don't agree on everything. And I think that we have a tendency to hone in. The thing about the Black woman or women, American women in general, is we really do want our men. We don't have a third world country kind of mentality where we only have to be wives and nothing else. We are multifaceted women. We can do a little bit of everything. And yes, is there a group of women who are rude and disrespectful or don't take care of the children or blah, 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 and the list goes on? Sure. But to categorize all of us and then make that your top arching or overarching reason as to why you would leave us behind, when there should be something in you that would want to lead us, guide us, mature us, love on us, teach us, something of that nature, versus just abandoning us and saying it's because of you and it's because of you, it's because of you. That may be true to a certain extent, but there's only a small percentage. So yes, I feel like this could come across as contradictory if that's the vantage point that you see it from. You understand?
Let me ask the other two guests.
You're amazing.
Let me ask the other two female guests. Let me ask the other two female guests to respond with the results of what she just said. She just said that the majority of Black women are out here doing the right things. They're able to have their careers, have their jobs, have their families, and take care of everything, and everything's fine. Please give me the city and the state where the statistics will show that the majority of Black women are holding it all together. Please give me that city so I can look it up, please, because in my statistics, it shows that everything that you got is failing other than your money and your career. Everything is failing. Excuse me, let me finish. I didn't interrupt you. Okay, here we go right here. We are 56% of Black men. This is blackdemographics.com. 56% of Black men as of 2021 are single and childless.
Okay, move on.
Hold on, I'm almost done. 76% of our children are born out of wedlock. Our children, our men are reading in the 9th grade at a 6th grade level, and our daughters are reading at an 11th grade level.
You can't handle the truth.
So whoa. Everything you just said statistically does not add up. But I can tell you how many bachelor's degrees you got and how many master's degrees you got. And I can tell you how many, all that other successful shit, how much money you're making. But as far as family, as far as your marriages and your children, you're not holding it all together. And that's the uncomfortable truth.
That's the uncomfortable truth right there.
No, that is once again your opinion, because I am not a demographer. No, hold up. I am not a demographer, and I'm not quite sure exactly where you got your statistics from. But here's the interesting thing. Okay, great. Here's the interesting thing. There are studies that come from all over the place that give different perspectives. So that's a little skewed and subjective at times, depending on where that particular study is coming from. But I tell you this much to respond to my sister, and that so listen, if you try to group a whole group of people together and say just, what, everybody is like this, really where you're coming from is your own life experience.
I didn't say everybody.
Who you slept with, who you've been with, who you've been around, because these statistics, you can't speak to that. You can't, because you haven't been all around the world, haven't been all around the United States to really say.
Yes, I have.
No, you haven't
touched every state. You haven't touched every state. You haven't surveyed every group of people. No, you haven't. No, you haven't.
Mark, you are sitting up here lying, bro.
All I know is that,
Mark, no, you have not been to every state. You have not surveyed every group of people.
That's what I got statistics for.
I've been to 46 states.
Okay.
She works for the CDC. Ask her. She works for the CDC.
Nevertheless.
Ask her the statistics. Okay.
Oh, you want to let me finish, or you want to try to talk over top of me?
This is why I see when it comes to statistics. Whenever it don't fit your narrative, that's when it's the issue.
Woo!
According to who?
I mean,
Like that makes you feel
so
good.
No, I feel statistics are just like weight standards. They don't fit everybody. And
Exactly.
so I agree with you,
So-
JB.
so
It's
then
like
let's just-
I look at things and
Weight
like
standards
within
do
my
fit everybody.
circle, my family. I mean, it doesn't fit me. I don't have a lot of those people that fit in that
Exactly.
category. I'm not saying there's not people out there like that, but my
Right.
friends, all of them have jobs. They're doing is everything perfect? No. And neither one of you could say that you are either. So, when you're talking about marriage, kids, raising them, whatever, nothing's perfect. That's called life. But when it comes to like just I would say my military friends, my now friends, a lot of my high school, well, I can't say because I don't, the ones that I do keep in touch with. And like I say, my circle, all of us are successful.
What does
It's
that got to do with the majority of people?
It's subjective though.
Because she's talking about her community. So the
Yes.
example was
About
made
her
that
friends.
it's a
That's
matter
the
of who you interact with, who you deal with, that really sets the example for you. Not
See,
these overarching statistics, but who
It's-
you deal with.
Is success subjective?
I don't care if your success is 200,000, a million, 20,000. You're doing good. You're surviving. It's success.
And what does that have to do with anything, guys? Let's focus on the topic. The topic is the attack on American women, and more specifically Black women, and in your reasoning and in your justification for how you feel. And you feel what you feel. And I'm gonna tell you something else. The way that my mind is set up, the way that my heart is set up, is can't nobody change your mind, and you can feel however you want to feel. And I pray that that works out for you. Like, I pray that works out for you, because this show is called The Uncomfortable Truth, and you guys just want to bicker and argue and make it a sexist battle. But the truth of the matter is you're not intending on changing your mind. You're not intending on even opening your perspective to what any one of these women have to say.
You're speaking, that's not true.
I really wish. And so
Then how do you hate a whole group of people?
That
what
No,
is-
nobody
is
said
when-
that. Y'all like to do that all the time.
That's what you're alluding to.
Oh.
What happens is when the common sense does not line up, now you want to go to the statistics. But the statistics didn't matter when you was growing up in your community. Listen, Mark, do that, because at the end of the day, bro, I know you like I almost know myself. I know you like I know myself. So stop. It's
I'm
not that
listening to
bad.
what you're
It's not
saying,
that
and it doesn't
bad.
make any
No,
sense.
it's not that bad. It's not that bad. And Mr. Bedgood,
It
I
is.
really wish I did know you a little bit better. But guys, fellas, if you like exotic women because of the color or the tone or the shade of their skin, then
Admit
guess
that.
what? Well,
Didn't
stop
he just
hating
tell
us.
you?
Stop
Didn't the
hating
guest
us.
just tell you? Didn't the
Stop,
guest just tell you
stop,
everybody look just
stop,
like y'all?
Stop hating us. Stop belittling us, because there is still in your little statistics a group of Black women who is doing the damn thing. That's what I want you to acknowledge as a man. Start there. Start there.
No,
Start
never
with
got an
acknowledging
opportunity. Never got an
a
opportunity.
whole
No.
group
I-
of women
No.
that are doing
As
phenomenally
soon as I came
in their
in,
marriages,
initially,
with their husbands, but with their children included, and through education
I
and
never got an
sharing
opportunity.
life with a spouse. There are more women that I don't know,
Soon
maybe you're
as
not
I came in,
that live that life. And Mr. Becker, you're a married man, and I'm pretty sure she not no Indian woman.
you don't know that.
Huh?
You don't know that.
Well, answer me then. Riddle me that, Batman. Riddle me
Soon
that.
as I came in,
Riddle
soon
me
as I
that,
came in,
Batman. I'm listening. What is your wife?
As soon as I came in, you initially start sweating the jury, Mr. Biggood, and I pray and all this. You didn't give me the opportunity to say nothing. I came
Well,
with peace.
say it, because I've seen you before, and I know you would tend to agree with Mark. And I'm just like, Lo, please, like, kill me on this. If it's about the uncomfortable truth, let's tell the truth. What is it
It
that
is
you
about
have
the truth.
interest in?
So here's my journey
You can't tell me my
across
truth.
the waters. So across the waters, what I found, this is in my experience. What I found is that yes, over there, I am treated to me better, and society-wise. Now, my wife is Black. Absolutely, she's Black. You thought she was going to be other.
Guess what? Everybody over here is Black too.
There you go. But my thing is,
they don't count. They don't count that good.
One of the favorite places I've gone and I've had a lot of time to was in Morocco, Africa. Now, Morocco, I was treated amazing. When I came back to the States, I was treated like shit. I was honestly treated like shit. Now, when it comes to, I think maybe over in my experience and the women I've dealt with, keep in mind, this is me, is that over there, I felt they're more of a kind of a what I was raised on, that old school traditional style, meaning the husband, he goes out, the male who he goes out, he take care of bringing in that bacon. That woman will cook that bacon, ensure those kids are taken care of. The husband will get the boy, take him out. The girl will be doing her thing. It's not saying that it's not happening over here in America. There's a group that's doing it. There's Black women that are doing
Amish people.
However, I've seen it more prevalent over in Africa. That's my story.
And I would like to share my story.
I'm going to agree with you. I did that just with JB.
Ladies.
I love you, JB. I do have love.
When the lady said Black marital status.
Look at those stats.
There we go. You got 30% for Black men, 33% for Black men, 27% Black women. Marital status, never been married, 52% of Black men and 48% of Black women. 13% of Black women are divorced, 10% of men are divorced, 3% of men are separated, 4% of Black women are separated. Widow, 3% of men, 8% of women are widowed. And compared to the rest of the United States, we have 48% that are married. They almost doubled us. They're almost doubling men, Black men. So when you have all these numbers and you have all these people and you have all these results saying the same thing, all these people, all these results are saying the same thing, and you take it as a personal insult because that's not you. Hey, like my grandfather used to say, when you throw the rock, the dog that got hit is going to holler. If it ain't you, then it doesn't apply to you, especially if you've been married for 10 plus years. You're not single. You ain't out here in these streets. You don't know what the fuck is going on. You can only assume and look up videos and be swayed by the information you hear. So I'm out here living it. These men are here, and I forgot to ask Marco this, but I should have asked him. Out of all the men over here that are American, what's the most percentage of what race is out here? I guarantee you he would have said Black men. You cannot continue to look at the results and say it's all wrong. Because what I'm telling you is what I said last week on the show. You don't have enough time in the day to do all the fucking shit you want to do. You want to be a careerist. You want to go to college. You want to have kids. You want to have a home. You want to have all this shit.
We do though.
And it's not working.
And as long as our husbands are nothing like you, they stick around. And we work.
Hold on.
We make it happen. The community is growing.
I gotta say it again.
Statistics on there
when
say
I
that
talk,
the study
I'm
lasted
talking about the majority. JB, I did not overtalk you when you was talking.
Okay, go ahead.
I didn't interrupt you.
I'm sorry, I gotta be submissive, right?
All I'm saying is this. Thank you. Lesson learned.
JB.
So when the results are happening right in front of your eyes, just like back in the 80s and 90s. Hey, Bedgood, how old are you, sir?
None of your business.
I'll gladly tell you. I'm 41.
You didn't tell me when I asked about the white being
41.
Black.
Okay, so check this out.
Discretion.
You're 41, I'm 45. Tell me, in the majority of your life, have you not heard on every talk show, in every woman's magazine, on every social media platform ever existed, how fucked up Black men have been doing shit?
Absolutely.
So all of a sudden now, it's coming back to you and your gender and your race. I've heard my whole life Black men ain't shit.
Well,
now all of a sudden somebody's calling you on your shit, and now let's not attack Black women. Let's protect our women. Protect what?
The most unprotected.
You call the police on us. Excuse me. Y'all call the police on us more than any other fucking person. Excuse me. I was over here and I was quiet.
Mr. Bedgood, your wife is
You've
black.
never
He
been
said
quiet,
I
Mark.
was quiet. I was quiet. While she was talking, I was quiet. So what I'm saying is this. Now we finally at a position where, okay, y'all didn't want the East Coast and the West Coast shit going on no more. Y'all want us to stop all this gangbanging shit. You want us to get a job. You want us to get a career. You want us to get a house. You want us to do all this shit. We did it. We're in our late 30s. We're in our 40s. We did it. And now we seeing things on you that we can say, hey, this is some stuff we see you got to correct. And now we getting this lip and attitude.
It sounds like reprisal. It sounds like reprisal to me. It sounds like an infant in kindergarten, or in pre-K or in daycare, rather. That's what I'm trying to say. It sounds like a hissy fit. It sounds like a temper tantrum, right?
That's what I heard over the last 20 years.
If for whatever reason there were centuries of a talk about black men that was, can you leave it? Where's that? Thank you. If there was talk about black men that was, unfavorable, for lack of better terms, and you guys got better over time, one thing that never left you was the black woman by your side, bro. And what I want you to understand is that it's not as bad as you're making it. It's not. I know you want to be dramatic, and I know you want to be hateful. And I know you have some of your experiences. But what I'm saying is the black woman never left your side, right? Because you still was married, you have a black daughter, and these women are not as bad as you make them out to be. Even the mother of your daughter, even shucks. Really, and the list goes on. You have a black friend, and I love you, Mark. And I've had people ask me, why do you even deal with him? And I'm like, because that's my boy. And if we go anywhere, we're gonna figure this out together. And if you like women over there, then as I said before, and I'm not gonna change, I'm not gonna sway from it. Like what you want. Actually, the truth of the matter is you've always liked it before the Passport Bros came out. You always been
I've been a Passport Bro since 2001. You know that.
Okay, you've always been an over eccentric kind of fella. And listen, it takes a special kind of person to deal with you. But the truth of the matter is, I want you, uncomfortable truth, to stop making about how horrible the black women is. You got to heal from that, bro. You got to heal from that. Friends like Mr. Bedgood, who is married to a good black woman, though I don't know the specifics. I'm gonna say good black woman because I don't know her.
She's an amazing woman, Brittany.
An amazing woman, right?
I never said black woman.
Perfect. Love of my life. I tell you what,
I need to bring my husband on camera because he would say the same thing about me.
I never said a black woman her. Hey, let's let the guests. Sherry, you got anything you want to add?
No, I don't have anything to add.
I have something I want to add, and that it is.
I don't want statistics.
Okay. So you can call for improvement from anybody without being hateful, meaning that you can cover somebody and you can call it with love, meaning that if the black man was exposed at some point and it was in a hateful way, that wasn't right. In the same way that if there are women specifically that you can call out and say, listen, you can do a better job, you can do that without hating a whole group of people. You can call out specific people in your circle to have them improve, but cover them while you're doing it. You don't have to expose them. You don't have to call a whole group of people and put them on blast. Instead, you can cover them until it improves. That's like the same thing when you go outside of your house and you tell your business outside of your house. You don't tell your business outside the house. You keep that in-house and you cover each other until you can get it right.
You're right. You're right. That can happen. That can happen. But I choose to yank that motherfucking Band-Aid off and pour alcohol in that motherfucker. That's how I'd like to do it. Now, you're right. I could do that. And that's other people's leadership traits. Like, that's kind of leadership some other motherfucker might be. But that's not me. I'm going to tell you, hey, you're fucking fat. Lose fucking weight. If you're in the military, if you have weight standards and you're supposed to maintain them, I'm not going to take you in the office and be like, now, Johnny, you know that you got to get up in the gym and you got to work out and I got to motivate you. No, I'm going to say, hey, come here, you fat.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about somebody that you're supposed to love.
This is my delivery. This is how I deliver the information that I want to give people. Because when I was growing up, that's how it was delivered to me. I was
I'm
told.
sorry about that.
Was it wrong?
Don't be
It was
sorry.
wrong.
Don't be sorry.
That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate.
Listen,
It was
excuse me.
wrong.
Excuse
They
me.
shouldn't have dealt with you like that.
Excuse me.
Because
Excuse
now
me.
at 45, you're still acting like a child.
Let me finish what I'm saying, please.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I could
Go
care
ahead.
less what other people believe because it made a very successful work ethic man to give me the shit straight from my grandfather, not some punk ass, pussy ass bullshit that probably wouldn't have worked on me. And I've been like the rest of my friends, locked the fuck up. But like I'm saying, it worked on me and it worked on a lot of people that I was a leader to, especially one underneath me. So I was just never that type of man. That doesn't. I'm not saying that type of leadership doesn't work, but mine is straight.
I'm successful.
Not a beer. I'm taking a straight shot to the head. So when I say to you, we stood back for years and heard what we should not do, and we made sure we didn't do it. Those who didn't do it, that didn't get locked up, that didn't fuck up and have a whole bunch of kids all over fucking world, and took care of their kids and maintained their finances, and they have insurance and they have a retirement plan and they own property. We did all that. So now what? I'm in a position where I can say, listen here, ma'am, you're insufficient now. Okay? What you're doing is lacking. How you're performing is lacking. And I'm not accepting that because I have the right to do that. Just like you had the right to say, no, sir. If you don't have a career, if you don't have a home, if you don't have insurance, I'm not having no babies by you and I'm not fucking you. That's your ability. You can do that. And I'm saying that to you. And a lot of men downstairs at that bar are saying the same thing to American women. Now, I was telling JB that that's not the only reason why they're here. That's not the only reason. But if you were down there and you hear what they're saying, and guess what? There's married men down there too that are here with their wives. I don't know why the fuck they did that, but they did. They came over here with their whole family. Stupid. But anyway, they're sitting at the bar, and what they're saying behind their backs, I wish I could play out loud. I wish I could play every married man that said, man, you know what? If I had a choice and I could be retired and just be traveling all over the world, ain't no different than what we're doing than when you go to your girls' trips to Vegas or Jamaica or wherever you decide to go. We just have money to be able to go further and do more. It ain't no different than when the fellas go to the fucking same fair they've been going to every year for the last fucking 30 years since they were in high school. Why? Because that's as far as their finances can take them. That's the reason why they're not here.
Mark, I'm gonna pray for you, but us women have that same money. We could travel, we could do those things no different.
And nobody would be mad.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. But you're sitting here, and I'm trying not to make this personal. That's why I said I really didn't even want to say anything. But I mean, it's like, who are you mad at? Like you're saying, these choices that you have now, you've always had those choices. Whether you had a job or you didn't have a job, you know, yes, you did.
When I was 20 years old, 21, 22, no. We had to build ourselves to be able to be in this position. We didn't always have this ability. We had to build ourselves. Unlike y'all, we don't.
That's
we're not,
you. That's you.
No. That's all men.
No.
That's all men.
I'm sorry.
And guess what? Whoa. I'm glad you said that, Sherry. I'm glad you said that because How Stella Got Her Groove Back was on national television. What is that movie about? It's about an old black woman that decided to go overseas and be with a foreign man, and she was having sex with him, and she was having a good ass time, and she got her fucking groove back. She the first passport motherfucking bro. Goddamn right there. Right there. Go look the fucking movie up. Go look the goddamn movie up. But nobody had a problem with that, did they? We don't give a shit.
Mark, nobody has a problem with you or any other man being in another country getting with women who, you know, nobody has a problem with it. You're the one that is making it by downing us black women by calling us trash.
I never called y'all trash.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I have never.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Why do you keep doing that? Why do you keep doing that when you know
yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes,
you
did.
I'll tell you what. Hold on, Sherry. Hold on, Sherry. I'll tell you what. This show is recorded. I will pay you $1,000 for every clip where you can hear me say all black women are trash.
No.
You're not getting that.
I was on the phone with you.
Oh,
And I said all black women are trash.
The last episode, not your last episode. You sent me some. Actually, you called me about help with a job. I called you and I was trying to explain you what was in my text.
Mm-hmm.
You were talking to somebody. I was on the phone,
okay,
and you said, "I'm going to go overseas because all black women are trash."
That's a
I
lie.
hung up the phone.
That's a lie.
That.
That's a lie.
Why would I have to lie?
Never in my life.
Why would I have to lie?
Listen. So Sherry. So Sherry, you're saying I called. Hold on. So you're saying I called Mari trash?
You're my nemesis. You know that?
Said
So I called Mari trash.
You know how he is, and you.
I called Mari trash.
Him like that's crazy.
Did I call Mari trash?
That was how I seen it. You said all black women,
you.
and I took it as myself.
No, I never said all or nothing.
Yes, you
I'm
did.
too
I can go back
intelligent
and
for
look at
that.
my phone.
I'm too intelligent for that. I've
Sometimes
never
I
said
wonder.
all.
Sometimes I wonder.
But guess what? At first they said it was on the show. First they said it was on the show.
No, I never
now
said
it's
it
in a
was on
phone
the show.
call.
I said
now it wasn't Stephen talking to her.
No. I
This
said
is the
personal.
badger people. You badger women. You don't like to listen. Shut up. Somebody mute his camera for a second. You need to learn how to listen, bro. Listen, you know what you have said. You know what you have said and gotten close to saying. You know what you insinuated by saying certain things. You know what you were trying to say. So stop it. Nobody has to catch you in a catch-22 or lie to prove that that's how you feel about shit. It comes out of your pores, Mark. It comes out of everything.
But he didn't say it.
Women,
He did say it.
Hey, beggar. This is another example of black women trying to tell a grown man what he did and what he thinks and what he gotta say.
I know what it is.
I don't care what you think you know.
I know what it is.
I'm the only one in my head.
There's some help out there for you, bro, but you gotta.
I don't need the help in America. I'll tell you that. Whatever it's at, as long as it's not there, I'll go get it.
Not trash, bro. All black women is not trash.
I never said that.
Well, stop acting like it.
Stop acting like it. Okay, go get the trash and tell them stop acting like trash.
Fucking shut up!
Anyway, next right. Let's
I ain't got no problem. I ain't got no problem telling all black men. Listen, I ain't got no problem telling all black men that are trash. I ain't got no problem telling all black men that are trash.
Moving on, brother. Listen.
No, we're not moving on. I'm gonna finish saying what I'm saying.
The next topic is.
I am not going to sit up here and not say that all black men that are trash, that are not, they don't deserve it.
I think his name is Jason.
Y'all got me fucked up. I'm gonna keep talking about what I was talking about until I finish my statement. Then we can move on.
Come on, child.
I don't give a fuck.
Because you're a child.
I don't give a fuck.
You're drunk. Go ahead.
Like I said, I'm not drunk.
Yeah,
I said that I was going to say what I'm going to say, and I'm going to finish saying what I'm going to say.
Go ahead, baby boy.
Thank you. That's what the fuck's going to happen.
How you act. Go ahead.
All I said was this, that I have never had a problem telling piece of shit, man, you a piece of shit. And I also don't have a problem telling women when you are a piece of shit, you are a piece of shit. I've never said all to anything, to anyone, to anybody, because I'm not that ignorant. So all doesn't apply to nothing. It doesn't apply to men and it doesn't apply to women. But those who the shoe fit, wear it. That's the first thing I said when we started this conversation was when you throw a rock in a pile of dogs, the one that yelped is the one that got hit. I ain't never fucking did that. Now we can move on to the next topic.
Wow, he's hateful.
Oh, wow. So we probably should have said that out loud, Mr. Bedgood. Tell your boy to pull back because we have a show, because that's what happens when you're honest and you're upfront with people that you love. At the end of the day, wow, but I still love this knucklehead. It's all good. Listen, we're going to get through this and we're going to do it together, because at the end of the day, you don't know everything. I know you have your own personal experiences, but we can get through this together. All black women, or even most black women, or even some community of black women are not all trash. And you got to fix what you say in order to fix what you feel. That's where it starts. It starts on the inside of you. Get around women that don't be like that, because you choose your environment, bro. You choose it. Somebody put me on the camera. Let me get my own little monologue. We let him have his let me get me. You got to change your surroundings. You have to change the women that you connect with. You have to change the women that you sleep with. You have to change the women that you communicate with, so that your experience is not that and all that. You're 45, bro. You're halfway there. The rest of your life, bro, is downhill from here. So if you think that this is it for you, that's sad. That's sad to me. I feel bad for you. Yes, that's why the woman said, I'm going to pray for you, because we feel bad, bro. This is the uncomfortable truth. And the truth of the matter is, you don't have all of the answers. And all your little statistics that only back up how you feel is not healthy either. It's basically building you up. It's making you more toxic. It's making you more unhealthy. It's making you hold on to stuff. But you got to change your surroundings. That's not all it is. And guess what, you guys? Since I'm introducing the next topic as the co-host, the next topic is about our boy Jason Whitlock. Okay, we got another heavy topic. We wanted to do that one first and kind of get it off the table. I don't know if we have anybody else backstage right now. If we do not, we'll keep you guys on.
Here.
Have to go, then you're more than welcome. But our next topic, and then we're going to play our video, but our next topic is about a guy named Jason Whitlock. He has his own podcast, YouTube page. He has his own platform. And recently we know that there was a young man that was killed by the name of Tyree Nichols. What we later found out was that 5 officers that brutally beat him to death were Black men. I think more than half of them, if not all of them, were Black men. The police chief of that particular department is a Black woman. And the gentleman that we're talking about, Jason Whitlock, went on, I believe it was Fox, and he had a statement. And operator, if you could play that for me.
Drop that track.
This is a story about young Black men and their inability to treat each other in a humane way. Everybody involved in this on the street level was either 24 to 32 years old. Everybody. It was a group of young Black men, 5-on-1. Looked like gang violence to me. It looked like what young Black men do when they're supervised by a single Black woman. And that's what they got going on in the Memphis Police Department. They've elected or put some Black woman in charge of the police force. And we're getting the same kind of chaos and disunity and violence that we see in a lot of these cities that are run by single mothers. If we want to discuss the breakdown of family that leads to disrespect for authority, that causes you to resist the police and run from the police and not comply with the police because you resist authority at all time, because there was no male authority in your home, let's have that discussion. But that's not where they want to take us. They want to take us down the path of saying, you know what, this is Tucker Carlson's fault. This is this is Donald Trump's fault. It's not. It's the breakdown of family and the buying in to all these left-wing things that have nothing to do with promoting family.
You already know. You already know. Everybody out here that watch this show that know me already know what the fuck I'm about to say.
So don't say it.
I ain't.
Good to us. What's good? What's on your mind, bro? Mark, talk good to us. What's on your mind?
They're good. Oh, I thought she was talking to you. No. Ladies first, of course, always. Nothing changed.
Nigeria, you saw that clip. Sherry, you saw that clip. What you guys think?
I'll let Sherry go first.
I honestly think that I don't know about, because you read the title. Whoever reposted it said that the guy was a coon. I mean, I do think that he did have Mark mentality when he was talking. No offense, Mark, but
that's a good man. That's a good man. That's a good man right there.
So you know, I mean, it's like 50-50 for me. Do I agree with some of what the man is saying? Yeah, some of it no, because I don't think that all children that run in those groups come from only single mothers, or not having both parents situation, like when he was talking about those things. So I don't think everything he was saying was true. So I mean, I'll leave it at that.
So while I think having a single parent household, a single mother is definitely a big factor, what I think is a larger factor is the fact that here in the United States, that Black men already have to struggle with the power dynamic, just based on where we come from and where we are in our communities, and that within with a white man within his community, he's the head of the pack. He does not have that power dynamic, that struggle. So we actually try to enforce our power amongst each other in our own community. So you got to show up your boy and show like, oh, I ain't no punk, because we have that power struggle amongst ourselves. And so it doesn't necessarily just come from the fact that, okay, you didn't have that in your household, but when you get outside of your house, you got to prove I ain't no punk. So I think that is a big factor in situations like this, where you see Black men who are aggressive with each other.
Personally, I feel like the man should have kind of tackled that topic at a later time. I don't see the correlation necessarily with the young man Tyre Nichols dying and being beat up even by our own people, or especially what that had to do with the fact that there's a female running it. Anybody that's running the department that have to answer for these officers are held liable. They're held accountable. It's just the military and the hierarchy. Essentially, what he was trying to say was that there was a monarchy. Am I saying that correctly? A monarchy, but I just feel like he tried to correlate too many perspectives and kind of draw it all together just to make a mess. There are some people literally out here that all they do for a rating or for some kudos is make a mess of certain topics that really should gain the attention of policymakers, that should gain the attention of judges or people, whoever could influence or affect change. And I really feel bad for him. Because I'm just like, wow, where did he get that from? You can tell when somebody is starving for attention, and I'm just like, all of that didn't really match. So if you have a perspective about how young men are raised and the fact that their fathers are not in the household and the dynamic, there's a power shift or the dynamic off in the household and the family structure, kind of at the end of the day, it's messed up whether the Black woman or the woman period drives the man out of the home, or the man is snatched out of the home from the workforce or society, or if he just don't fit and don't want to be there and he leaves on his own. The woman is left to kind of put the pieces back together and raise these young men as best as we can, or as best as they can, because I'm married and my sons are being raised by their father. So I ultimately, my initial feeling is that the topics didn't match. They didn't jive.
May I? As a father of 4 black boys, unapologetically Black as well. My 19-year-old, who happened to be in the Marine Corps as we speak, when he got his license, it was a bittersweet moment. I was so excited for him because he got his license, but I was terrified, because if I could just took my brain and put it inside him, he would know what to do in situations. This right here, what we know to be fact with that situation, and I want to get to Jason Whitlock as well. But we know what to be fact is that young fella was out taking pictures on his way home. He was at this stop sign, a known stop sign that they would go, or a little area there, that this group of thugs, let's just call them what they are, group of thugs, attacked him. Now, he ran because of fear. If you listen to the video, look at the video, which is gruesome to watch. But he ran out of fear for his life. He was the only calm one in that situation. There was also a white male cop who was tasing at the time.
Oh, yeah.
EMT was there 5 minutes to the time, did not render any aid.
30 minutes later.
Thank you for the correction. He also ran not far, was it 800 meters or something like that from his home. Last words that he spoke was mama.
Yep. So
my issue is that Jason Whitlock has a history. He's not new to this. He's very much true to it. He has a history on demonizing and putting down Black people. Yep. It's not new with him. He's the same one who was at the time 300 pounds or 400 pounds body shaming Serena Williams. Let's be real about that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
He also within it will go to bash any black man that do anything positive. He will bash to the T.
Mm-hmm.
The main topic of this right here is not about whether the mom was a single mom. It has nothing to do with that. This right here was all about the justice system and this coalition of militarized police force.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the main issue. So all he was doing was going to Caucasian Americans saying, hey, look, I'm going to show you how to be nice. If they would do this right here, hey,
Mm-hmm.
teeth, cheese, you know, if you go ahead and be a Sambo, you know, because Uncle Tom on the back one is a Sambo, you know, let's be real about that. The issue with this is that they ganged up on that young man and killed that young man. That's what they did. So now this is what I predict gonna happen. They're gonna set examples, we're gonna show you these police are not gonna get away with it. Why? Because they're black.
It's already over with.
The chief's black. Let's do it. But I want to pull that color out the way because it needs to happen regardless of the color that need to happen. But what get me is that amongst them, there was 3 divine nines that was a part of that police force, Q dogs, that was a part of that force. That's what upsets me even more, is that you all are here doing this right here, and you know that struggle before you put on that uniform. Matter of fact, if you take that uniform and walk off, they'll treat you just the same as you just treated that young man.
Same.
What gets me is that they will go before the judge and they'll do a simple acts for mercy. They'll beg for mercy, but they didn't give that young man mercy. But the issue with it, and man, I hate going on a political role, but damn it, you got to get this right here from me, is that yes, it's the police force, but hands are tied. For those of y'all who worked with unions before, it's tied because of the union. They're embedded so much, so it's hard to get rid of them. So typically what they'll do is they'll quit. If they quit, they then got that clean record where they can go to another force. But these brothers here, and I'm still going to call them brothers. At the end of the day, they're still brothers.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to do time. They're going to do time.
Yeah.
You know?
Big
but
time.
It's a shame. It's a shame. And let me hit this last piece, please, on Jason Whitlock. And I've stated earlier, Jason Whitlock, he does this. All right. He's good at it. It's what he do. He goes from Fox to Fox to Fox, whether it be whatever sports show. This is the same man, and I'm gonna body shame him in the process. It's the same man who's 300 pounds on a golf course saying Tiger Woods this, so on a tennis course, Serena this right here. Okay, they're a person who played 3 years in college football who didn't make it, but you want to go here and you want to talk about everybody else. LeBron James just opened a school. Well, this is him. Well, I mean, yeah, he didn't do this right here. He came from a single parent. Well, guess what? That single mom, know what she did? She taught him this. But it was a male also out there he looked at. And he said, okay, I like that example. So listen, it happens. My mom later married. She married later in life. I got a chance to walk her down the aisle 2 years before she passed. Excuse me. But there's strong women out there. And you know, I know we go on a tirade about last topic and everything, but I'll tell you, we're going to talk about last topic. Sometimes I'll play a role and sometimes, you know, I won't. But I want to be real about this right here, is that there's strong black women out there. So at the end of the day with Jason Whitlock, miss me with that bullshit about saying, well, it's because this person. No, that strong woman is doing it. Now, that father can be a father and don't have to be in that household. He still can do it. It would be nice if he's in that household, yes. But he still can be that strong father outside the household. But it boils down to none of that bullshit what he said has nothing to do with them slaughtering that person.
Right.
Okay, here's the top. Here's a comment. But was he right in saying single black women plays into the state we're currently in?
No.
You can answer that.
No.
Okay, well, I'm going to go if everybody's done.
I say no, Mark.
I heard you, and I respect your opinion.
I say,
no, but I do not share that shit.
I get you. The reason I say no is because I was raised by that single woman, and also keep in mind, I later on in life met you and got that mentorship from you. So that woman got me to that level where I was. So she did fucking good.
True.
Matter of fact, she did amazing.
Hold on. Two things can be true at the same time, can it not?
I agree. That can be night, that can be day. Yes.
Exactly. So what I'm about to say is I can probably find a million great single mother examples. I can find it. I guarantee you. In all races of people, there'll be somebody that'll get on stage talking about my mama made it work and it was 5 of us in bed, 1 bedroom, and she always made a way to make a way. I've heard all those goddamn stories. I congratulate all those women and I thank you for your service. However, let's go back to the uncomfortable truth. And I have it right here. 63% of all youth suicides.
Cite your source.
Single mother homes.
Please cite your source.
70% of all teen pregnancies. Single mother homes. 80% of all prisoners. 80.
Cite your source.
Please cite your source.
Should have known.
Mark McBride. No, that's not a source, bro.
Sorry,
wait a minute. Statistically, of all those single women home in the men that are not involved, I mean, where are the men at? You know?
You didn't pick them.
Those statistics.
You didn't pick them.
Those statistics aren't there. They're not there.
Hey, do you notice when I was quiet when everybody else was talking? You notice?
He makes sense.
I didn't say a word. I didn't say a
make
word.
sense.
But anyway, let me get back to that. 80% of all prisoners are from single mother homes. 90% of all homeless and runaway children came from single mother homes. I continue. You are 5 times more likely as a man to commit suicide if you're from a single mother home. You are 9 times more likely to drop out of high school if you go from a single mother home. You are 10 times more likely to abuse chemical substances if you are from a single mother home. 14 times more likely to commit rape. That's with an R. 14 times more likely. 20 times more likely to end up in prison. 32 more times likely to run away from home if you are from a single parent home. So I do agree with you when you say the two really didn't match. I don't know why he tried to make it seem like that. I think maybe what he was trying to do is say, no, these are just a bunch of niggas. And niggas was being niggas. And he just couldn't say it that way. He said these was niggas acting like niggas towards niggas. And we see this all the time in our community because most niggas that go to prison are from where? Single mother homes. Because last time I checked, I have not went to a man's house in my life.
Oh God.
Never have I went to a man's house that had children and he was a single parent and his house was a disgusting mess. I've never seen it. I've never went to a single man's home that had children by himself. Never. Because he made sure them niggas got up and did the shit for him. That's what he did. That's what I'm saying. That's what I've seen. This is what I've seen. This is just what I've seen. I've never
seen. Good. Get your boy.
Excuse me.
Good. Get your boy.
This is my turn. I have never seen a child that grew up with their father alone that was a disciplinary issue. Never. I've never had it. I could always tell, especially when I got Marines. I'm like, who was your parents in the military? No. Who raised you? My granddaddy. I can fucking see it. I can see it.
Did you know that I came from a single parent household?
I believe you. Just like I said in the beginning, I can find a million great opportunities. I can see a million great situations where it came out right. But let me ask all of you this. If it's such a good situation, would you suggest your children do it?
Well, no.
Never thought it was a good
situation. Of course
situation.
not. So let's try to stop making a turd look shiny. Let's stop trying to make a term of China. Just because
yeah, but every situation is different, Mark.
I know that. I know that. But what I'm telling y'all is what he said is statistically and factual. It doesn't matter if we like it or not. The majority of us in our community, not the white community, not the Asian community, not the Indian community, not even the Hispanic community, have these type of numbers. Nobody.
Would you agree that you and I had? Would you agree that you and I had fun in Okinawa?
Hell yeah, we did.
We did some shit you ain't supposed to do. We had fun, did we not?
You're damn right.
Would you agree? Would you want your kids to do that?
If they know how to get away with it.
You see what I mean?
Okay. All right, listen, we got a few clips that we want to play. So that clip that we recently played was just to kind of get the conversation started. I have a clip that I want. I don't know, Mark, did you have one of your own?
No, it's just you.
Oh. So yeah, I have a clip that I would like for the operator to play. If we could, sir, can we bring that up, please?
Yo, Jason Whitlock. I was raised by a single black mother, the amazing, incomparable Miss Pauline Bowman. I now sit in the United States House of Representatives. I'm the first person of color and first black man in U.S. history to hold this congressional seat. I also have a doctorate in education leadership, and in 2009, I founded and opened my own public middle school in the Northeast Bronx. I worked in education for 20 years, teaching thousands of kids, and I ran that middle school for 10 and a half years as its principal. And for many of those years, my middle school students outperformed middle school students across all of New York City, and I was raised by a single black mother. How is this incident of police brutality, where 5 officers brutally beat and murdered an innocent black man, how is that the fault of single black mothers? You must have lost your mind, man. You must have completely lost it. There's a lot more I want to say, but I'm going to keep it right there. Okay, I'll keep it right there. I'm a sitting member of Congress writing legislation that impacts tens of millions of people every single day. I was raised by a single black mom. I made history becoming the first person of color to serve in this congressional seat. I made history opening a middle school in the Northeast Bronx. When and how have you ever made history? And I'm proud to say I was raised by a single black mom, one of the most amazing people in the world.
So in doing some research, y'all see what Mark's reaction is, because 2 things can be true at the same time. But when anything is opposite to its own truth, we make a mockery of it. It's okay. It's okay. Some things, big as your head is, I don't even expect you to understand. But at any rate, you guys, I believe that what the man said, I wish I knew, more about him. I'm gonna do some more research later on as to what else he's influenced in the black community or any community. He said he grew up in the Bronx and he started a middle school there. So I think that's phenomenal. And that's a byproduct of his black, single parent mom. I guess if we had the time and space to dive a little deeper as to why so many women in the black community are single moms, I think they start off with the ideology of wanting a family, a husband, the whole unit, the white picket fence, if you will. We're allowed to say that. And raise a family. I don't think people go or out to be, in a burnt, broken, busted position. It takes a lot of gall to even walk away from a husband or having to start over or whatever the case may be. And as time has evolved, it has become the mantra of certain women to say, I don't need black man, I don't need. And I'm just wondering, where did that all begin? Do you guys
I think there's another factor that's missing in that. So yes, growing up in a single black parent household, especially with a single mother, is a huge factor with the statistics that Mark mentioned. But another factor that's really big in that is poverty. So it's not just about being a single black mother, but it's being a single black mother without resources that makes the biggest impact, even larger than race, because a single white mother without resources is going to raise a child that is more likely and prone to some of these same statistics that Mark mentioned. It's more about the economics and less about the race.
It wasn't, I didn't say black women. I said single mother households.
Okay, I understand. So, but what we're talking about with this particular clip is single black mother.
What's going on, sir?
What up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, what you got to say about the subject today?
The subject I have, first of all, Jason Whitlock. He's a clown. He's been doing this stuff for years. He's hated on LeBron James. He hated on Serena and so forth. But the topic that we was talking about was the single black women raising children or whatever. I'm a product of a single black mother. At the end of the day, my mother got on drugs, alcohol, and some of these things that rendered her in a situation. Right now, she's 12 years clean. I have never done a drug in my life. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do that. I'm very successful. But some women, I don't care if they're white, black, Hispanic, some women are some of the worst stewards of children that go for females and males. And I see this on a regular basis in the job I do. You have some female mothers that will teach some of their female children to be whores, to be promiscuous, to be certain things. And I've experienced it myself with my own daughter. When my baby mother of my child, because I don't really like saying that, we're trying to chastise our child and give her right and wrong. And I'm on the phone doing what I'm doing as a father. And she tells my daughter in the same sentence, don't listen to none of that. You need to get you a male that has money so you can get you one to take care, meaning get you and she said, get you a rapper or a ball player. I in turn turn around and say, don't do that. Get your education and get your own damn money.
I like this guy. I like this guy.
Right now,
uncomfortable truth is in the building.
Is strong black women in here. My fiance is a strong black woman. I've seen how she's raised her children. You see what I'm saying?
Hey, man, I see what you're saying. I couldn't have said it better myself.
But if we look at certain things that go on in society, when we see little Johnny get murdered, get hurt, we see mothers come on and say, oh, he was a great kid. He never bothered anybody. He never did anything. My issue be, where's the father at in this aspect? We never see this. I'll be like,
jail. In jail.
In my opinion,
in jail.
Well, he's need to be right there holding your hand because he ain't supposed to have a part in raising this child, be it this male or female.
He in jail.
And in our society, we tend to point the finger at everybody else and tell us to take yourself accountability.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Give that man a round of applause. God damn. Give that man a round of applause. And I mean the roundest of applause. I mean, drop a bomb when you drop those applause, too. Hey, listen here, D. Let me tell you something, sir. I don't know how you did it, sir. You just pulled off a miracle on this fucking show. Do you understand me? You just got through saying everything that was your truth and that was negative about black mothers, and these women were quiet. You got to tell me what magic you got in your shirt.
Didn't you just say that to me?
They sit there and was quiet and let you speak. I said the same thing 5 minutes ago, brother. I was getting shot all up in the side of the head. I think it's because you were a guest. And they just was being respectful. But when I say the same thing, you don't know what you're talking about. Cite your source. Cite your source. Cite your source. So I appreciate you, sir. Like I said, also, two things can be true at the same damn time. You can have people come out of the situation that are successful and sound-minded, but like we all know as adults, that does not mean it is favorable. That does not mean it is something we should suggest. And by the statistics and by the numbers, it is not a good thing. And we are hurting ourselves by continuing to do it because you're not successful at raising children in mass numbers, not just individuals, But the majority, you are failing because of the results of these children. You sit up here and talk about the piece of shit men that are in the community. Last time I checked, 78% of them were born to you and you alone. You raised them. Okay, all these motherfuckers that's going to prison, you're like, where's the fathers? Well, if you would have picked a man in the first place, because we've already had that question, I asked the ladies on the show, which one do we pick the most to have the children? Is it the great men or is it the piece of shit dudes? And y'all say with your own mouth, the majority of husbands in the black community are those individuals that are lacking. They are in prison. They're felons. They're doing the wrong things. They got quick money. They're doing stupid shit. So if that's the majority of individuals and they ain't gonna be around any goddamn way, they not gonna be around any goddamn way, then why the fuck are you asking? Look, so why the fuck are you asking where the men are? Excuse me. We got a comment. She said, well, y'all take the kids and raise them and let me know how that goes. Ma'am, that already happened, Tony. Thank you very much, Tony. That already happened, Tony. What I want you to do is, hold on. Let me answer her questions. Tony, what I want you to do is pull out that phone in your pocket, and I want you to go way back, like 40, 1930, 40, 50, all right? And I want you to look at these same statistics when the man was in the household over 80% of the time. And what was the black men ratio of going to prison and committing all these crimes and rape and all this other shit going to, what was the percentages of them ever happening then? It was almost 180. The opposite of what it is today. We were married at an 80% rate. We owned businesses. We owned fucking goddamn banks. We had our own goddamn gas stations. We had everything going. Everything running. Perfect. So stop blaming shit on fucking goddamn slavery, because we already did it. We already accomplished it. So if you want to know when it happened, go back when your great-grandfather was in the house and look at the statistics and what was happening in the family then. So when you take the man out the house and you leave just the woman, it's a different vibe, and we all know that.
Can I say something to what she put on what she put on the screen?
Yes, sir.
My own truth. Well, some of us have asked to be full-time fathers. You know what my answer to that was in my experience? I don't want to give them the money that you're paying. So you'd rather for this child to be bad, cutting up, obedient, things of that nature for monetary gain. This has happened to me. I know how much money I paid, and I put myself on child support.
Jesus.
Put myself on it, still took care of my child, did everything for them, and they still said I was a piece of shit.
Didi, I'm gonna follow you.
Even though we are the only race, black men are the only ones that pay their child support on a regular basis. But to some people, we don't do shit.
No. The statistics say that black men spend more quality time with their children than any other group of men in the United States. That's what the study shows. The study shows that black men spend more quality time with their kids than any other group of men in the United States.
Mark, you just contradicted everything you just said.
No, I didn't. I'm talking about those men that are men. I use the word men.
There was a comment by Tony, which just so happens to be one of my other sisters. It's so hilarious to me. Listen, check this shit out, y'all. Excuse me, Lord. It says, baby, we are in the 2023. Okay. Mm-hmm. So we're not talking about being in the household. We're saying y'all be single black fathers. So we're not talking about go back 40, way back, 40, way back, 40, like, bruh, come on out of that. All them dramatics and all that crap. We're not talking about, hold on tight. We're not talking about going back 40, 50, 60 years when the father was in the household. She's saying, according to her statement, she's saying, just be the single black father with the poverty and all of that other and all of the other things that can have an effect on the reason why children are turning up the way they are. Listen, here's what I have to say, and then whatever man wants to speak, bro, because like I don't want to become disrespectful. At the end of the day, my children and the children of my family members, extended family, close friends, the people that I communicate with, They don't have, that's not their story. They're not a part of those statistics. It's unfortunate that your baby mama doesn't want you to have full custody of your child, because that's crazy. You're not an unsafe person. You are seemingly
Financial reason.
provider. You are a disciplinarian, so you'll probably make sure your child is not in the midst of things. You have them probably outside of certain neighborhoods where they could kind of get into trouble. So you should have every right to have your child with you, outside of the whole child support thing. Again, I said this last week when we talked about it. Stuff can become convoluted, right? But there's certain details about your life and your relationship with your baby mama and why y'all are not together that may influence her decision. I don't know that, but I'm just saying personally that what y'all are referring to is not my story. And actually, the women, I'll give you an example, right? I told Mark when we started this, I was like, listen, I can't find no women to come on the show because none of them feel like dealing with the bullcrap. And he was like, you gotta find, I'm saying, some different women, I'm saying, some lower class women. And I said, oh no, sir, that's not who I communicate with. That's not, even though my story is tumultuous and how I was brought up, I chose at a certain place in life for something to not be my story. And so if you are 45 and you're still holding on to something that happened at 16 or 18 or 21, bro, at this point, you make your own bed and you lay in it. Like, we got to choose our men and who we sleep with, and we have to deal with the results that we're now a single parent household and they're in jail because they left because all of this other crap. That's our choice. So you have to now choose, or have to understand that you chose that at 45, you still making these cracked up decisions, or 35, or whenever your children were born, or whenever your marriage dissolved. All of that stuff matters, right? Because like we said, there can be two truths that exist at the same time. And what I'm not going to do is sit here and pretend that this reality does not exist. Yours does. This is my reality. My husband is in the home. I have 7 children. All of them are being properly raised. I have one daughter that's getting ready to go to the Air Force, right? Scored an 83 on her ASVAB, or 86 or something like that. I have another one that's getting ready to go to college. She wants to study law. She wants to go to Harvard. I have another one, my son, who plays football. Your story, bro, is not my story. That's not my experience. That's not my tale to tell. So I'm not going to sit here and only agree with you as if that's my experience. Now, I come from a background where I've had some bad things happen to me. I've experienced some not so good things. I've been exposed to some not so good things, but it doesn't become my story, which is why it's important to have the Black woman in your life, because we have a magic in transforming certain heartbreaks and certain things. We have a way, especially if we're exposed to certain women and we have certain role models and things like that, or we have a certain belief in our life. We have a way of transforming our pain, and it's been like that since the beginning of time. It's just been that way. It's something that is unexplainable. And guess what? The Black man possesses that same trait as well. You know what I'm saying? There's magical things about the Black man that does wonders for the family. And we need you guys around. We need more of that around. So whatever child is not being disobedient and not acting crazy in the school, it's not only because he or she is being raised by the Black woman, it's because your ass is absent. So that's why it takes a fatality. It takes unity. It takes unity. Not just because I'm failing them, but because your Black ass ain't around. It takes unity. Even if you're not in the household, take more accountability. Take more responsibility. Come and get them more often. Don't just send your child support and come and pay for their football or whatever the case may be. And I mean, I could go on, and I'm not, because I said I was going to stop. But stop. You picked the wrong host, bro, because I'm not going to ever let you, not with knowing that this is the reality over here, only let you paint your picture of what your world looks like and then find statistics conveniently to back that crap up. I'm not going to do it. You got the wrong one.
Yes, well, I just want to say that I was raised by a single father up until the age of 12. And I will say that to me, and I've been a single mother, so I just want to say, just let me go back to me. When I was, raised, things happened. I was lucky that more things didn't, that I was protected some kind of how. Let me just say that, because things could have been worse. But it made me fight harder to want to be successful, to want to have things that I seen my cousins have that we didn't have, to just, I can keep going on how it made me want to be better. And I want to say when I was about 12, my aunt and uncle adopted me and my younger sister. And I don't know if that's what saved us, and of course that would be a 2-parent home that we went into, but that was a struggle because when I was with my father, I thought I was already grown. At 12 years old, I did what I wanted to do. I went where I wanted to go. I did everything, because my father was always at work. So I was home by myself. So, it's like, it's twofold. It's no different than if you have a single mother who's trying to do everything and the father's not present, where my mother abandoned us, so it was like, she was like, I'm not doing this. And she just dropped us off on my grandmother's porch. So it's both sides. That's all I'm just trying to say. It doesn't just have to be that mother that puts you in that situation. It's one parent. Bottom line, what you're saying, it does work better with 2 in the household. It does, because you got one watching, one working, or both working, and taking turns watching. So it does. And like they say, what it takes a village to to raise a child. I mean, that's the truth. Friends, family, everybody.
Let me read something real quick. Anecdotal evidence is evidence based only on personal observation, collected in a casual or non-systematic manner. The term is sometimes used in a legal context to describe certain kinds of testimony. This is called the uncomfortable truth, not the uncomfortable anecdotal experience. Okay, just because it happens. Excuse me.
Take your own advice.
Excuse me.
You're excused.
Excuse me. Everything that I read is from the majority of the people who live in the country. I'm never going to sit up here on this show and talk about my experience as evidence. What y'all are saying is great, and I appreciate y'all sharing your stories. However, when I just spit off all those numbers, we're just going to continue to ignore the truth and then try to say this, try to discredit it. Y'all ain't stupid. Y'all have been to black communities all over the world. Y'all have been to black communities all over the United States. Let's sit up here and lie and try to act like the majority of black communities are just thriving, like they just the shit. Let's sit up here and lie to the American people that are watching the show and just try to act like the majority of our communities and our schools and our students and our kids are well behaved. Let's sit up here and fucking lie and try to act like all our kids are doing what the fuck we intended them to do. Let's sit up here and lie and try to act like this black culture, this music, just like what he was talking about earlier, where the girl would get on TV crying about, we got to stop all this violence, y'all. We got to stop all this violence, and then get in the car and play Young Dolph with a young son in the back seat. Let's sit up here and try to act like that's not us. But y'all can do that shit. You can use your own individual sweet fucking stories. That's great. But I'm not stupid. I see the world. I see what's really going on. I'm happy for y'all. I really am. Lord knows I'm happy that all y'all grew up in great situations and circumstances. But that is not the fucking majority. The majority of the projects belongs to who? Who?
The Hispanics.
The majority of the hood belongs to who? Belongs to who? Who's in the motherfuckers? Who's living in that shit? Who's living in the majority of the fucking slums in the fucking worst hoods? It's black kids running around, no shoes, roach-infested fucking homes, and y'all can sit up here and act like you're holier than thou because you fucking made it, and you're up here with the Jeffersons, but I'm not stupid, and I'm not that far detached. I've seen it, and I still see it today. I see a woman take a kid home, knowing she got 3 kids piled in one fucking bed.
You're not going to see it in Dominican Republic where you're going to get married.
That's my business. That's my personal business. And you probably damn right.
Because you're gonna abandon your community and then complain.
What community? What community?
You're not gonna see it.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get shot up and drugged down the street by police and have some fucking government put a baby on me with a woman I never had sex with. No, you're damn right. You're damn right.
Thank you, man. I gotta go. Thank you.
Appreciate you, Dee. Thank you for coming on and telling your uncomfortable truth.
Wave your flag, Mark.
That's correct. We only make 6% of the population.
Wave your flag, Mark. 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 Wave your flag, Mark
Statistically, that's incorrect. We only make up 13.6 of the population.
Hey, whoever wrote that, why don't you listen? I said single mothers. Nobody said black. Get off your soapbox. It's not about you all the time.
Yeah, I think they're getting it wrong. Statistics, I get it, 13.6% of the world, but then you can also do percentage of your household. So
no, those percentages I read off were the United States. All mothers, all races, all colors, all shapes, all sizes. I never said black.
Right, but Mark, this is the pushback I'll give you. This is the pushback I'll give you. Everyone that was on this panel right here came from a single parent household.
True.
Yeah.
And each one of us are all successful in our own rights.
Congratulations. What does that
Well,
got
to include you?
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't come from no single mother.
Single parent household.
You were raised by your grandfather.
That's true.
Okay, and barely.
man.
Like you're good. You're good.
Exactly.
You'll gloat on the fact that I serve for like, yo, be easy. I think if you open your eyes, you'll see that there's more good than negative.
No, it's not. It's not.
What everybody is telling you is that you're harping on stuff. Like, anyway, Mr. Bedgood, you tell him because you're his mentee. Maybe
Bedgood. Do me a favor. Do me a favor. You know I'm fair. You know that.
Hey, now, I will say, I've been giving pushback. I have been giving pushback.
Yes, he has. Now, Bedgood, tell me this. Give me one thing that I've said that was factually wrong.
Well, you did. You did.
I'm sorry, JB, Mark. Thank you for having me. I love you, JB. I just want to say you.
Thank you. It was so nice meeting you, Sherry.
Mark, I will say you did tell us to stay away from the stage over there, and
you know.
Yeah, he.
Now,
Nigeria, did you have anything?
Yeah, she been quiet. I'm surprised how quiet she was being your older sister. I just knew she was coming after me.
This one right here was a bit different for me right here.
Oh Lord, here we go with more statistics, huh?
They hate statistics, though.
No, what I'm saying is episode was a bit different from me,
According to how so?
Seemed like we had a little personal going on here.
Well, I tell you what.
Seemed like we started getting personal.
I tell you what.
Hey, it's uncomfortable. It's called uncomfortable truth.
It can be uncomfortable and not be personal.
But whose truth? Yours? Mark?
Listen. Hold on. Why do we
internalize and make it so personal?
What you sipping on, brother?
Overall, I thought, yeah. We're talking about our people overall. I thought, yeah.
No, internalize.
With I said that, but now we're at the end of the sentence.
No, I said internalize. I said I fucked
overall. I thought so. We was talking about Mr. Jason Whitlock, and his disposition on what's wrong with our community and why it resulted in Mr. Tyree Nichols being murdered. And so pointed out by Mr. Bedgood and the other gentleman, Mr. D, that this is what Mr. Whitlock does. He goes and he just attacks people. He just has that certain characteristic, and it's unfortunate. So as a whole, we gotta be more vigilant. We have to pay more attention. We have to speak up when necessary. We have to stand down when necessary. We just got to be mindful and be, implement when necessary. It's just a whole bunch, it's unfortunate that he feels that way. But if I had to answer the question, I would say, no, he's not right. He's not right. I don't believe he's right about what his opinion is about where it comes from. I think
I like it that when you say you
JB,
don't believe he's right. I just ask that you bring some type of research, numbers, something that back up what you say.
I got you, Mark. We're gonna do some research.
What we're talking about the gist of, we believe. Listen, if Jason Whitlock, if he had any type of care in his heart and he wanted to bring that up, you don't go to to the hospital and say, man, Had he only dodged that, or he only did this or here, no, that's not the time for it. There's a time and place for everything, right?
I agree.
So, hey, listen, let's go to the Marine Corps, right? 3 of us are Marines. Good initiative, bad judgment, right?
Okay, I agree.
So let's do
with that.
So his intent, which I wholeheartedly disagree with, that he meant well, because I don't think he meant well. He meant well for what his own gain, his personal gain.
Right.
So his intent, let's just placate and say he wanted to do it right for the black people, for the culture.
No, he don't.
So let's just say he did it for the culture. You're gonna go to one of the most infamous networks who don't too much care for us. You're gonna go to Fox News, false news. Let's be read.
I mean, that's the only people that would take him on.
Well, no. Any other network. Listen, Jason Whitlock he's famous in those areas. The guy can get on any network if he chooses to.
Mm-hmm.
He can talk to anyone, but you chose that
to spew venom. He spewed venom,
and also he has a hell of a following. So if you felt that, you didn't have to go to the network and do it. You could pull this handy dandy phone up, turn to the side. In the process of turning to the side, you can also tune into you all's great, podcast, which is what I'm on right now, which is amazing. But in the process of that, he could have nicely said his piece on his phone. He could have typed it out on any Instagram. Again, I'm telling you, I would have done, but I'm not gonna run over to the white man to, hey, look, this is the issue over here with us, white man, who also redlined us. I'm gonna hit you on this right here, Mark, real quick. Who the redlining? COINTELPRO. That has a lot to do, Mark, with the black man not in the household. It also, the government also throws a lot of money. It's also financially, they looked at it. You got to think. I'm going to go back to that because I want to hit this real quick, Mark, because you said some stuff about the black man not being in the household. I know I'm squirreling right now, but just follow me. So, go back to the Black Panthers, because it goes back. Black Panthers. Remember, we were strong in this area right there. All right. There was a nice place in a certain city in a state that was the Black Wall Street. What they do to that? Burned it down.
Mm-hmm.
So anything prosperous that we do, they tore down, especially during those areas right there. So then those black men get put in prison, either killed, put in prison, and say, okay, black woman, I'll give you this right here. I'm gonna give you at least $100 more than what he brings home. So financially, it's easier for me to just go ahead and make sure you just don't come in the house. Because if you stay in my house, then I don't get this. I don't get all this aid from the government.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't get the aid from the government, there's no need for you to be there. The goal is to keep you out that household. A strong black family is a fucking beast. It is a beast.
And rare.
You may say, my family, I'll tell you this right here. My family, it was so uncomfortable for that town I was in Alabama. I was in this town called Robertsdale. It was all of 5 black families in that area. Now I'm from Greenville, Alabama, which is, a predominantly black town. But in this area right here in Robertsdale, once I got out of the military, moved back down to this area. It was all 5 black families in the area. I had to have this conversation with my son, all my boys. Hey, listen, unlike what you used to, people down here are different. They don't like you because of this here. Yeah, but why? I didn't do nothing wrong. Yeah, well, they don't see it that way. They don't see it that way. So it was uncommon for them to see me show up to the school for a PTA meeting. Show up and do this, ask questions, ask this. And they looked at me like, how dare you? How dare you? To the point where I had to walk in with a damn Marine veteran, this right here, veteran hat on in these small towns to get a pass. So I took my son certain places. So
that's deep.
There are a lot of strong men that are trying to be in those households. There is, but there's a system out there. But we also got to understand that, and Mark, you have daughters. All daughters.
True
correct?
statement. True statement.
Okay. So I pose this question to you as that from the mentee to the mentor is what are you teaching your daughters to do to counter that, where it won't be that single family household?
Completely fucked up. I completely fucked up. I can't even lie to you, brother.
No, but you can fix that.
I'm trying. Right. But I completely fucked up. I just last show I was talking about how we're sitting up here complaining about women in the United States. This is our fault. I have no problem taking accountability of saying this is our fault. We spoiled our daughters. We spoiled the shit out of women. The government spoils the shit out of women. Women can do all kind of shit, and there's always a safety net. There's always a safety net.
I don't want to revisit the episode. What I want to do is that what steps are you putting into place now?
I'm starting to have uncomfortable conversations. I just had one with her, my daughter. I told her, we sitting in the car. I said, listen, I want you to know something. I spoiled you because I love you, but I didn't do my job.
Yes.
My job wasn't to be the best dad in the world ever in your feelings. My job was to make sure that you can go out here and be successful in everything that you do, including creating a family and maintaining a husband and children in a home. And I didn't do that, but I'm going to start today.
Right. But that's why I say it comes to, here's the thing. I'm a firm believer in this right here. And you have someone on you that's a co-host to you that can assist you in that. So you take me. We can never ever raise girls to be women. We can't do it.
See that statement?
Hold on. Let me hit this topic. Let me hit this comment. Jasmine Brown said you can't be a passport boy raising a young lady. Jasmine, you're 100% right. Because I'm never yo or anybody else's fucking boy.
Mark, come on. Let me hit this point.
No. She put this point, Mark. No. She put the boy on there for a reason. So let me tell you. Hold on. Let me respond to Jasmine Brown.
Kind of personal thing going on. Mark,
let me hit this point. Let me tell you something.
Let me hit this point, Mark. Let me hit this point.
All
right. What I'm saying, Mark, is that you and I can never ever raise young girls to be women. We can't do it. It's impossible.
What we can do is teach them how to treat men.
Hold on. I believe women can't raise little boys to be men.
Nope.
All right. So what I'm saying is that you got that co-host right to you who's assistant to you. So you're saying you're making those points so you can utilize her to assist you in that.
True.
You get what I'm saying? And also, don't worry about that comment, man. It's gonna be comments it's designed to trigger you. Don't let it happen, man. Come on. Let's focus back on this.
I like it.
So don't hit it. I know you're ready to go. I know you're ready to go.
Boy, you lucky.
We are winding down. We are winding down on our time.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
It's been crazy. Like, these two topics are really, really passionate topics. And yeah, while you guys are on here, please make sure you subscribe to our channel. Make sure you smash that like button. And continue to join us from week to week on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. More crazy topics to come. Both of our guests, I want to give you a round of applause. We appreciate you. Bro, I'm not your nemesis. I'm not.
We are nemesis.
No, I'm not even the devil's. I'm the angel's advocate. I'm Jesus' advocate.
And I have a couple of my coworkers, and I've seen it to them to look at, and they were like, "Hey, man, you and that woman get along together?" I was like, "What are you talking about?"
That's crazy.
Next week, I think we may be talking about religion.
Yeah, I think we are.
Oh boy,
we're gonna switch it up. It up.
Thank you, Jesus.
We're gonna switch it up.
Is it? If you don't mind, I would like to, if it's okay with you too, I would like to have a pastor with me.
Yeah, come on. Look.
Please bring him, and I'm gonna give it to him.
Lord,
this pastor I'm gonna bring on, if you don't mind, I'll bring with me.
I'm not gonna be disrespectful.
No. You be you. That's what he wants. He wants you to be you. Cool. He's always about you being you.
Cool. He might not like me after the show.
Mark, what are you drinking on? Let's have a toast. Can I have a toast with you all?
Let's do it. The toast is to
Mark. Is that a whole bottle?
Yeah, bringing the uncomfortable truth
is that
for us to be better people, so this uncomfortable truth can then be false.
I'm not above you. I'm not below you. I'm right beside you.
Bow. truth.
Look at turn up.
See you later, Mr. Baker. Thank you for joining us. We
Appreciate
really
you.
appreciate you.
All right, next week, okay?
Who's all my passport bros out there? All my passport bros in the building. Salute to y'all. Hey, listen, man, I'm not closing out the show this week. I'm in the Dominican Republic. What am I even doing on this damn computer, man?
This is
Baby, I think you got it tonight. You need to do the closing monologue. I got to go.
This is our show. This is our platform. It's us, the uncomfortable, the ugly truth sometimes. Everything about this is so that we can grow and be better people, be better citizens. Listen, this week was crazy. So we had the passport bros. We were enlightened on some of their other aspects and how they, do things and why they do things. And we touched on a really sensitive topic when it came to women and specifically like the Black community, and why our men are going over there and kind of how but you know what? Then we transitioned over to Mr. Jason Whitlock. We don't want to give him more exposure than what he already has, but you guys go and check him out and kind of see some of the things that he'd been saying. And we hate the fact that Mr. Tyree Nichols had to lose his life in this case, but you guys continue to join us from week to week. This is The Uncomfortable Truth. I am your girl, JB, your co-host. You guys love on my host, Mark. You guys give me a little bit of round of applause for that. Thank you for everybody who joined us in the chat and all the comments. Until next week, it's been good. Uncomfortable Truth.